All right. Well, I'm ready to go whenever this show is ready to go.
When I hide my pouch.
Like a kangaroo. I feel like I'm like in Joe Rogan's back room.
Oh my god.
Okay. Are we ready to go? Are you going? Are you doing it?
I haven't done it yet.
I'm ready to go whenever you are. I like this angle though.
We're just gonna go.
It's funny. Okay. Wow. Oh, we're live.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, we're
over there. You're in a different spot if you're watching Instagram Live.
It's because Brie broke the other one, so I had to get this one. But it's fine.
Yeah, we're testing out the waters today.
You can see my face better, because usually I'm like this. So actually, this is better for me.
Yeah, we can sit up straight. We can work on our posture, 30-ish. Hashtag. Because that's what we're working on here.
Well,
we're talking about posture. We're talking about aliens. We're talking about murders.
I mean,
we're talking about Britney Spears.
Those things in that order, right?
Yeah, we're talking about it all.
All of it. All day, every day.
Hi, guys. Welcome.
Welcome
to 30-ish Podcast.
Yes.
Where we roll the dice each week and
here we are.
Decides our fate of what topic we're going to fucking tell you guys about the next week. And we're 30s, so 30-ish.
30.
But you guys know that. And if you don't, now you know.
Yep. And I'm Shay. Although we can't read whoever's here when they do come.
No, and
also I'm
also
30-ish and I can't read from this far away
I definitely
anymore.
Can't read from
I need
here.
some glasses.
Also, I wonder how the sound's going to be on the live today. Oh, my mom's here.
Oh.
Hi, Mom. Let us know how the sound is. Sound check.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. Is it not usually? I'm such an idiot. I'm like, doesn't it sound like this?
I mean,
it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
The other thing, too, is like if I look at you, it's just my fucking back of my head.
I mean.
So we're going to work on the angles.
We will.
This is just a test run.
This is really about me. It was just a coy just to get me to present my face. Because it's always about Brie.
I know, Shay. I know. I am always, and I'm still front and center.
I'm just little.
But look at her. There she is. Miss America. Well, how are you?
I'm good.
It's been a couple of weeks. But, you know, things happen. It's life, right? So here we are.
Yeah. How you been? What have I done?
What am I?
What am I? What have I done? Well, no. Okay, let's see. I got an fender bender. Oh, by the way, when we look at that ring light, all I see is the ring when I close my eyes. But anyway,
yeah, I don't like that.
It's fine.
Do you guys want to have a light show really quick?
We can't keep up with the Instagrammers. I don't know how they're doing that.
I don't either, but it is kind of hurting my eyes.
When they're 30-ish, they're going to have a syndrome.
They're going to be like...
Had the ring light deficiency.
They are. There's going to be a new fucking
There'll be a new
condition.
100%.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So this is the first and last time we're using a ring light.
Yeah, this is intense. Oh, I mean,
$12 hauler though.
Yeah, absolutely. Good at Amazon Prime.
Thanks, Sammy.
Yeah.
Amazon.
No, I got
You got a fender bender.
I got a fender bender. And
are you all right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sue the girl, even though she looked terrified. She looked like...
What happened?
I mean, I was just in stop and go traffic on I-76, and she wasn't paying attention because she probably was Snapchatting or whatever.
She's probably using her goddamn ring light.
Probably using her
in her car.
So her retinas were burned off, and then she hit me, and then I could tell she was scared as a pooch. So... And she just got back to me.
They do get scared.
They do get spooked. But I'm fine. Just my little car is damaged. But I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, you would think at 30, if I got a fender bender, I'm like, well, there goes my year. So I can't work out anymore. I went to Arizona.
My back's broken. I got an fender bender.
I went to Arizona for a minute.
You did
for my ladies. That's not right.
My ladies.
My lady friend who is her batch party. So we went there.
Did you guys see any aliens while you were out there or what?
No, but that was the friend that I went to, and she stayed a couple days longer, and she went to a little alien convention.
Did she tell you anything that happened?
No.
Would she like to share?
She said it was too big of a conversation to have over text. And I was like, did you get abducted in bro?
Maybe we should interview her for the pod.
I know. She's a really cool chick. So she stayed out there, and I'm pretty sure she took some mushrooms in the desert, and I'm pretty jealous.
She took some restrooms?
Some mushrooms.
Oh! I was like,
God
she
damn
took
it.
some restrooms in the desert. Do you mean she went to the bathroom
She
out
took
in the open?
Yes, she did.
That's neat.
I mean, in front of hippies, I'd be like, that's just a common everyday, man. Just you go when you gotta go.
You just pop a squat in the bush and
100%.
wipe your tush. Pop a
With
squat in
that
the
bush.
bush and wipe your tush.
Not with that bush, though. That would hurt. Be a little
No.
spiky.
Well, sometimes you have to do that in the
Brillo
wilderness.
pad.
You use the leaves for toilet paper. Have you never been backpacking?
No, I'm
Just
not
make sure they're
interested.
not the poisonous leaves. Leaves of 3 let it be. If it's hairy, it's a berry.
What? Like a dingleberry?
No! I'm talking about like if you're gonna wipe your ass with a fucking leaf, if it's hairy, it's a berry. Leaves of 3 let it be. Not.
I've never heard of that. I think you're making that up.
I learned it in campfire, so check it.
That's
Anyways,
because you guys were hood rats and you didn't do it right.
we did everything right. Actually, we didn't.
I was just jealous.
But we sold candy, so yeah, we had a fucking giant snowstorm here.
We did. So yeah, so I came like right before I came back. Right. Oh, I have a good story about that. I didn't tell you about that. Like a friend of my friend's sister got kicked off the plane because she was drunk. Yeah, I totally didn't tell you about that.
Wow, hashtag 30ish. That's like,
Yeah,
good job.
We essentially went way too late for the plane. We drank for 6 hours at the airport in Denver. And then we tried to get on the plane. I was drinking water, so I was like being a responsible 30-year-old.
After the 6 hours of drinking?
Yes, and then she drank, I think it was like, we calculated it was like 4 shots in an hour at one point, because she was kept asking for a double-double, but the waitress is like, no.
A double-double?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
It was pretty hysterical. And then she got on the plane. She actually went up to her sister. She's like, I'm gonna throw up. And she's like, can you lock it up and hold it together? And she was like, yeah, I can do that. And she was like, she actually sat across the way like 15 feet from us, and then she just kept like every time we were like looking over to make sure she was there like an infant, she was like just winking at us. It was pretty funny. And then we got on the plane, and we were at the back of that fucking bus, and it was like swaying like this, and then we were like looking over like across the aisle or whatever, and she was just like, oh no. And then she just was like throwing up in a little bag, and then some lady came up and she was like,
that is not.
she was like, I'm gonna need you to come with me. And she was like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, no.
She got off the plane. We had another person with us, and she's like, should I get off with her? She got off the plane with her, and then apparently we didn't know that we pulled back and like we took off, and then we landed, and they're like, apparently she put hands on a flight attendant person. She was like, I can walk a straighter lighter. I'm not drunk. I can walk.
Shay might have had a couple margs.
I might. Hashtag Vatos. Hashtag sponsor us. She's like, I can walk a straighter line than
Buy one,
you.
get one free. Tacos on Brie
Right,
and
so
Shay. Just kidding. That's a lie.
100%. So don't do that. She's like, I can walk a straighter line than you, and she did that. But that was
that's a no
but
for the
she got
airport.
She got on another flight, and she was totally solid. And then they got.
They're like,
on.
ma'am, you just can't be on my flight because I'm gonna punch you in the face.
100%. No, apparently, like the lady was just like, she didn't phase her. She was just like, same shit as always, like whatever. So
poor flight attendants.
I know. Poor
Do they call
Frontier.
them stewardesses?
I feel like no, I think they call them flight attendants.
And is a male? Is he a
they just
steward?
call them a flight attendant because it's non-binary. I would think. I'm with it.
That makes sense. Okay.
I'm woke.
Well, what the fuck are we drinking today? We're keeping it real
Yeah,
local.
look at this. Horse and Draggy.
We're representing one of our favorite breweries in town, Horse and Dragon. Mm-hmm. We're drinking that Silver Lion, which I've never had.
It's pretty dope. It's one of my favorite ones.
I'm sorry, guys, but I only drink Horse and Dragon when I'm at the brewery. I need to start getting some cans. This is delicious.
Yeah, the Silver Lion is probably one of my favorite easy drinking beer, for sure.
And the picture on the label is a silver lion.
And she's
Look Look at his eyes. So yeah, if you don't know about horse and dragon,
it's pretty awesome. And
get to know them.
Yeah, they're pretty dope.
They're delicious. And they're a sweet place to hang.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And this beer is delicious. So cool.
It is. Yeah.
And so what do we roll? It's been so long. I don't even know where we are.
You rolled paranormal.
I rolled paranormal. And
I did a free roll.
Mine, is paranormal.
Is it about aliens?
Mine's a lot. Mine's nostalgia. It's it's a lot of history.
I like it.
It's definitely paranormal for
I'm
sure
excited.
Too. It's a lot of couple things.
It's a lot
of couple of things.
It's a lot of things.
Lots of couples of things.
Yeah. And I rolled I did a free roll. Can you guys guess?
She keeps on rocking with her free roll.
Ooh, you know what I'm excited about? That has nothing to do with Tina Turner. But I'm excited for that documentary on HBO.
First of all, that is not a Tina Turner
that's
song.
That's what I said. I was like, that's not Tina Turner, but I don't know why I thought of that. And I think I was just thinking of just
it's fucking who sings that song?
I don't know.
Neil Young? No.
Just the Neil. Yeah.
Tom Neil.
Yeah.
I think it's Neil Young. I'm sorry, guys. Mom, who sings that song?
Ask your
God, my brother's
Austin.
here. It's a family affair on the IG Live. Filemeyers.
I don't care.
Just the Filemeyer family.
The Filemeyers, that's fine.
I can't read what you're saying because this light's blinding me, and also it's too far away, and I need my glasses.
Oh, your mom's
It is Neil Young. I see the outline of an N and a Y and a G.
No,
it must say Neil Young.
I can see that from a mile away. Thanks, Mama Brie. I've never met you.
Thanks, Mama Brie. You will. You've met her.
No, I haven't.
She's come into the Cafe Vino before, which we worked at 17 years ago together.
Is that how long ago it was?
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways.
Okay. Well, we probably should go because it's been a while.
Yeah, we don't even know what we're doing anymore.
Sorry.
And we say that every time. So we're going to roll into this.
It's true, but this thing makes me look like a Cheshire cat. Sorry.
If you're just listening to the pod, we were just smiling like Cheshire cats.
Yes.
So make sure you look on our IG Lives for
that. ASMR of my gums opening up.
Yeah, and my fucking mouth smiling. Gross. Did you guys hear my mouth smile? Perfect. All right. Well,
we're going to go now.
Thanks, everyone. And, there's a family. Now Shay's family's here.
Hi, Auntie. That's my Aunt Trisha. She's the best.
You guys, if you want to hang out with us and our family on IG Live, just come hang out with us when we randomly come on when we're doing our intros, and we'll see you there. Yeah. So, thanks, everyone. We're going to fucking get into this podcast, and we'll definitely have a new angle next time. I can't literally, this is how far we are, guys. I can't even if I knew where the fucking exit sign was, I couldn't even reach it. Here we go. Do you see the ring light in my eyes? Okay, bye. Okay, guys. We need to confess something here.
That was real bad.
You guys, ring lights? Mm-mm. Wow, no thanks.
No. I'm pretty sure that if a zombie apocalypse happens, I will just take one of those bad boys and then just shine that. Yeah. And it'll just burn the retinas off off those fuckers.
Blinded by the light, much?
God damn, how do you millennials do it?
You guys are
I'm sorry. Gen Zers?
It's because they're not real. They're aliens.
They're not real at all. At all. That was, I'm still, my eyes still hurt.
Yeah, and every time I blink, I see the ring, which I hope that doesn't mean I'm going to die in 7 days. Or, this is what the movie's about. Okay?
Yeah.
Must be.
I don't like it. Okay.
Anyway, all right. Let's get into this.
Okay.
All right, guys. I rolled paranormal, right? So here we go.
Yes.
Today I'm going to be talking about the witch's wheel.
Ooh.
Do you know what that is?
No. Is it like I don't even have anything clever to say. I'm not going to say it. Okay.
Okay. Well, it's not the ride at Cedar Point, which apparently there is a ride there called the Witch's Wheel.
Honestly,
but that's not what we're talking about today.
But now that I'm thinking about it, it would be a wonderful name for a driving school. Because I would 100% take my child to that. The Witch's Wheel? You're like, Mom, are we going on a broomstick? I don't know, babe. You're going to get a surprise just like me.
Find out.
But no matter what, it's going to be amazing and magical.
It is.
So buckle up.
I mean, maybe you could start that. Look at you.
I mean, maybe I will. And then, like, each car gets a cat, and they have to, like, figure it out.
Oh, my God. That would be fucking... Please, can we just create a theme park where there's cats in the car and they drive you around and the cat's in the cradle and the...
Oh, my God.
Anyway, okay, back to paranormal.
Just like this cat over here who looks like she's just, like, seen some shit in Nam. Like, I don't even...
Yeah, Buddha is a wild witch.
She is a wild witch. All right.
So,
hit me with that
the
knowledge.
witch's wheel is basically the wheel of the year that modern day witches, Wiccans, and neo-pagans use.
Ooh, okay.
To celebrate. It's like as the year goes on, and it's the different celebrations and festivals within the year. That's what the witch's wheel is.
Okay.
And the witches also, like, this is their calendar, basically. They're asked, and it also has to do with, like, the equinoxes and the solstices and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
I like it.
First of all, before we get into this, because, I mean, this is called the witch's wheel, which is why... Witches! Why? I decided to do it for paranormal. But let's talk about what a witch is. I wanted to read the dictionary definitions because...
Me. I'm a witch.
I'm a witch, bitch!
I'm a witch, bitch.
I'm a witch, bitch. And it...
Don't know why.
And I ride on my broom anyway. Okay, so a witch, according to Webster's dictionary, that is. Mm-hmm. There's 3 definitions. The first definition, though,
what's number 1?
Of course, is a person, especially a woman, who is credited with having unusually malignant supernatural powers. True. Okay.
Yes, true.
Number two. Listen up. Number two. A woman who is believed to practice usually black magic, often with the aid of the devil or familiar sorceresses. Note, this meaning of witch is commonly encountered in contexts relating to historical Christian religious beliefs about witches and witchcraft. So basically, this definition is based on the Christian beliefs from, the historical fucking times when they were burning fucking women
when they were just burning them on fire
because they like to cook things with herbs and mix them up and heal people
real nice.
Anyway, so the last definition of witch in Webster, which it says in italicized letters, or less commonly witch. This is like the less common definition, which is what I've found in my recent not studies, but encounters.
I mean, kind of, if you think about it.
That this is like the main definition of a witch, and it's a practitioner of witchcraft, especially in adherence with neo-pagan tradition or religion, such as... Oh, that's not the whole thing. It's basically the... I didn't do the whole thing.
Did you forget?
No.
Okay.
I just forgot to add it. But it's basically... It's like the... Well, like a Wiccan, it's like the religion and the like worship of nature and like the seasons and nature and like the seasonal.
Nice.
It's like all about like, their potions and shit or shit from the earth that they use to help do whatever.
Okay.
Anyways.
Cool.
Also, I thought this was fun to note. While modern witches do believe in the ability to harness the forces of nature, Wicca has nothing to do with Satan or evil spells, which I never knew until literally I looked up this.
Wicca?
Wicca. I had no idea. I thought Wicca was always like... I always thought... Like, back when I was little, I was like, witchcraft always has to do with evil and devil.
Right.
And all this shit. And a Wiccan is like someone that does evil spells and stuff like that.
No, because Wiccan and paganism go hand in hand. And paganism, again, they always like mistake that for Satanism, but it is a totally different thing.
Yeah, that's 100%. The narrative they give it.
100%.
We're just
it's different, so it's bad. It's different, so it's bad.
We're spinning the new wheel, different wheel.
We're gonna spin a different wheel.
So, anyways, what the fuck is the witch's wheel? Do you ask?
What is the witch's wheel?
Well. So most witches view time as a wheel, and as we go through the seasons, we are turning the wheel of life. And most modern pagans celebrate this wheel of the year, and it consists of 8 sabbats. Sabbats? S-A-B-B-A-T?
Sabbats.
And those are they act as the spokes of the wheel. So if you like see the actual picture of the witch's wheel, it looks like a wheel and it has 8 spokes. And these 8 spokes are the different festivals of the year. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today.
That's cool.
Which are real parts of, I mean, they have to do with the moon and the sun and the, you know.
How did you stumble upon this?
I think I've been, well, I don't know how I stumbled across, like, the witch's wheel.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I've been kind of getting into tarot lately. I follow some, like, random shit on Instagram, and I think because we just celebrated one of the Sabbats, technically. Yeah. We just had the first day of spring, so the spring equinox just happened.
Right.
So I was like, and yeah, so it just kind of all spewed with that. I think I heard something about the spring equinox, and someone mentioned the witch's wheel. I was like, what's that? And
okay, that makes more sense. I was like, I don't know how you just type in, like, witches and, like, car parts. I didn't know how that works.
No.
Got it.
Just because I was like, witches,
you're like,
paranormal.
Boom, witch's wheel. Done.
Witch's wheel. Okay, so what is it? So, yeah. It consists of these Sabbats, like I said. There are 8 of them, and they're just seasonal festivals. And it consists of 4 solar festivals, so the equinoxes and the solstices of the year. And then 4 seasonal festivals, which celebrate the marks of significant seasonal change in the year. So all the 4 seasons of the year.
Nice.
Which are different than the equinoxes and the solstices.
Right.
So the wheel itself, I already told you, so delete that.
Okay.
So it's considered modern day, it's considered somewhat modern day, this witch's wheel, at least it being called the witch's wheel. It was introduced maybe in the late 1700s. But we do know that the Celts and the Druids thousands of years ago celebrated these same festivals as highlights of the year and as celebrations and pagans worshipped these different kind of seasons as well, and they had their own festivals that basically this witch's wheel is based off of all these old ancient Celtic and Druid and different seasonal times.
Perfect.
Okay, so first we're going to start off. The beginning of, like, the new year is a holiday that I've actually already talked about. Samhain, which is like Halloween. All Hallows Eve. And
it's called Samhain?
Samhain.
Samhain.
But it's like spelled Samhain. That's like Samhain.
Samhain. So like
Samhain. So it marks the beginning of the cycle of the year, actually. It's kind of like a New Year's Day for this type of calendar, if you will. Right. And it's the end of the season of light and the beginning of the season of darkness. Okay. And in this context, however, the darkness isn't equated with, like, evil or sadness, but it's understood as just part of the human condition, that we must be regenerative. There must be regenerative darkness for there to be light.
That makes sense.
So Samhain is recognized as a time also, as we've talked about, where the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest. The in-between time.
So is it like during December instead of
October? It is October.
Oh,
but
really?
It's technically, it's the beginning of
interesting.
Like this, it's like the beginning of the year kind of thing. And it's October 31st to about November 1st.
Huh. Okay.
Also, if this is all in the northern hemisphere, so if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're celebrating these 6 months later. So, like,
in August.
Yeah, because that's when, it depends on the suns and the things, like, and the winters of the, whatever. Yeah,
the moons and shit.
The moons and the tides and the sands of time. Come on down, stop on by. Anyway.
Yes, that's just like Agrabah.
Exactly. Also, one thing that I don't think I mentioned that I knew about in my last little report about Samhain is that if one had wronged someone who had passed on, this is the time when the spirit could return seeking compensation or revenge. And that's one of the reasons they also wore masks.
I mean, let's be real. That's what I would do.
I know, right? You won't be caught dead if you're in a mask.
Nope.
What?
Absolutely not.
So
doing it before was cool.
Yeah, so that's Samhain, and we already talked about that, so I'm going to move it on to Yule.
The Yule time?
Which is the next celebration in this, which is Wheel. It's the shortest day of the year.
Oh.
And it celebrates the return of the sun and also symbolizes hope for the witches and the pagans.
So they don't get burned at the stake anymore?
Yeah, pretty much. So throughout history, this time of year has been archetypically linked with the birth of a child of promise and light. So
like a savior?
Dionysus, which I think was Greek, Jesus, and Baldur, which is another story, which I'm sorry I don't know the origin of that story.
I mean, the other two don't really roll off the tongue, do they?
What?
The names?
Dionysus,
compared
Baldur,
to
Jesus.
Jesus.
This is also in the Wiccan tradition, the time when the goddess gives birth to the god in the longest night of the year, and then like the earth during winter.
That's right,
rests.
she does.
Yep, she do. She got a rest after that shit. She gave birth to the god.
She's so tired.
It's also a time of abundance spells and charms.
Oh,
for the Yule time for the witches. And also because
like
it's
presents.
a time of giving thanks and gifts of goodwill and giving
like
abundance.
Santa Claus.
Exactly.
Yes. Getting mushrooms.
Peace on earth, goodwill to men, straight from the witch's mouth. Okay.
Santa Claus.
They believe in that.
Witches.
They like that shit too.
She getting high with Santa Claus. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. So next up we have Imbolc, which is also called Candlemas.
Imbolc.
Which is on February 1st and 2nd. Mm-hmm. Its literal meaning in the old Irish language, Celtic language, it literally means in the belly, and it refers to pregnant sheep. Okay. So it's the celebration of light returning. So around February, it's starting to become lighter again, It's not as dark as much, and the pregnant sheep, the coming of the lamb.
I mean,
of Jesus.
It's like a different kind of Clarice story, but okay.
Clarice. My pinky ring. Oh. So it's also marks the midpoint between winter solstice and spring equinox and celebrates rebirth and purification. It's also associated with the festival. It's associated with a festival with pregnancy, linked to fertility, hope, promise, and promise of the future, and it celebrates the Celtic goddess Brigid. And she was the goddess of medicine, poetry, fertility, the forge, and sacred springs.
God damn, she had a list.
God, she was a fucking bad bitch.
Dude, they're like, you're gonna get the goddess of wisdom, and you are gonna have this fucking list.
You get medicine, poetry, fertility, the forge.
But I only have time for... Doesn't matter.
Bridget, you get your shit together.
You're fucking Cinderella in the story.
Bridget, you're rigid. That's why we named you this. The celebrations for the Imbolc celebrations involved weaving dolls of Bridget from corn stalks, making sun wheels.
Sun wheels? Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And it was to represent fertility, continuity.
Okay.
Good job, Brie. Luck and life principles of fire. And today, in the association with the promise of spring, we celebrate this holiday as Groundhog Day.
Perfect.
So instead of celebrating a beautiful goddess coming to light and the rebirth and purification of a season, we celebrate a groundhog if he can see his goddamn shadow or not.
We celebrate a rodent.
And that symbolizes if spring is coming soon or not. I mean, whatever.
Who's to say? I mean, I guess in a way, it's like witchcraft, so in a way we're celebrating them, so I don't know.
You're right.
Boom.
Maybe that's what they used. They're not telling us.
I'm sure some man was like, they'll get it. It's fine. They'll figure it out. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. Yeah, so I thought that was fun. Next up, we have Ostara or Eostre.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
Can you guess what holiday this rivals?
Wait, next up?
Yes, we were just in February. Next up, we have Ostara or Eostre.
I mean, it sounds a little bit like a festive Easter.
It is. So this is the celebration of the spring equinox. And I forgot to put the fucking date, but it's like, Easter, April.
It's fine. We get it.
So it's an ancient holy day by modern day pagans. It is an ancient holy day. Sorry. Woo, can't read. So it is an ancient holy day, but and modern day pagans do celebrate it, but little is known how it was celebrated back in the day, even though we do know it was ancient.
Right.
Celebrated. And the name of the festival comes from the Germanic spring and fertility goddess, whose name was Eostre, who is the mother of dawn.
Ooh. That sounds fancy.
Eostre or Ostara, the goddess, reemerges from beneath the earth where she's been sleeping for months.
She's exhausted.
And it is the time that she becomes pregnant with the sun god, who will be born on the next Yule.
The next Yule time?
The next Yule time.
Oh.
So that's when, the Yule time is the celebration of this goddess, this goddess giving birth to her godson, remember?
Right.
Her god's not her godson.
Not her godson.
Her son, not the
her friend's baby. She's giving birth to her friend's
son.
baby.
So yeah. So hey, who knows? It's 2021.
Hey, it's fine. It's progressive.
It's a day representing rebirth and renewal. And the symbol of the egg was particular importance during this time, which I mean we all know we decorate eggs and shit for Easter nowadays.
We do like to decorate some eggs.
But so was the concept of the labyrinth during this time, which I thought was dope.
That's interesting.
So the labyrinth dates back to the Neolithic age in places like Ireland, India, and Greece. And more. But apparently it symbolizes the detaching of oneself from one's present external reality to find some greater meaning within oneself.
I mean, that's
Crazy.
Pretty poetic. I mean, I would much
and
rather...
also kind of... symbolic of, like, if you're a Christian or something, the resurrection of Jesus.
I would much rather have, like, where the fucking Goblin King comes and delivers you Easter eggs compared to the fucking Easter Bunny. 100%. And he just sings magic dance at you and then, like, disappears into the darkness. Like, I would absolutely love that.
Wow, Shay.
I mean, maybe not as, like, a small child, but now...
Start your own pagan holiday. You should start your own
I mean, maybe I'm
Shagan
gonna.
holidays.
Shaken out.
Shaken, not stirred.
That's what it's gonna be called, and I'm gonna make a Facebook group, and like everyone is invited to join, and you have to all dress like the Goblin King.
And you have to give us $100.
100%, $1,000.
Anyway, so that's what a labyrinth means, guys. So
I like that.
Next time you're fucking watching The Labyrinth with David Bowie,
yeah,
think about detaching yourself.
Yeah, you
give reality.
You give Jennifer Connelly a call and you thank her.
Which I guess is why you would watch the movie Labyrinth, to detach from your own reality.
I mean, it's a bunch of fucking freaky puppets running around, and he's
find greater meaning within yourself.
And then he's throwing a baby in the air, and
there's like singing and puppets, and you're like, there's so much possibility.
I don't know
if
why.
If some dude can make millions off of making fucking weird ass puppets, singing with David Bowie and around crystals,
as a child,
pretty sure I could do whatever the fuck I want.
It always like mesmerized me when he could like fuck with the crystals in his hands, like the little balls.
Yeah. And
then he would throw them up in the air, and then like Toby would be like climbing on the stairs upside down. It scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I've only seen the movie once or twice.
Really?
I was Jareth the Goblin King for Halloween a couple years ago, but that's because I had a perfect wig for it, and it was amazing.
I can actually really envision you. I think I've seen that picture, and I was like, spot on.
Thanks. I got all that from my closet that night.
That's amazing.
That's my favorite.
What year was that?
It was 20.
Was that
18?
Was that in the Johnson and Wales?
No, that was 2017. No, that was in Fort Collins.
Is it Vino?
So Grimacy, who is an author who wrote over 20 books on the subject of Wicca and neo-paganism, he notes how the modern day practice of the Easter egg hunt probably comes from ancient rituals involving a labyrinth and an egg. Dope.
Oh, that's dope.
Dude, I'm going to we should build a 30-ish labyrinth Easter egg hunt.
That would be awesome.
Let's
I'd be
do
about
it.
that. I'd be all about that.
Well, I'll fucking figure that out real quick.
Do it.
They should just do a labyrinth Easter egg hunt at the fucking Stanley.
Yeah, they should.
If they don't already.
Why shouldn't? I mean,
we'll plan it, Stanley. Just call us.
They have a perfect, like, little place.
They have a labyrinth.
100%.
They have the maze.
Yes.
So, yeah. And the ritual act of hunting for the egg would elevate a participant to a transitional state of consciousness, apparently.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, crazy. Go hunt an egg and fucking get high on life.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, moving forward. Next up, we have Beltane, which is also called May Day. I'm sure you've seen that on a calendar. Which is like April 30th to May 1st. And Beltane celebrates light, fertility, and the coming of summer. The name is actually thought to come from the phrase Bel's fire, which is a reference to Bel, the Celtic sun god that literally means bright fire.
Yeah.
And as well as other festivals, bonfires played a very important role in this festival. Actually, a lot of these holidays, fire is like, it's like a fire celebration as well. It's like, you have to light a fire for this shit. So, but this case, the fire was associated with passion and setting aside one's inhibitions in order to indulge in one's desires. And basic celebration includes lighting a bonfire and making love in the woods.
Oh, I mean,
May Day, everyone. It's way better than Valentine's Day.
Usually when someone's like having sex in the woods, it's like a different kind of May Day, but like, whatever.
Well, make sure it's consensual.
I mean, that's true too.
So May Day is also celebrated by decorating and dancing around a maypole, which actually literally is supposed to represent the phallic and yonic as symbols.
Of course it is.
And it literally represents a wiener. It legitimately, historically represents...
You don't even have to say phallic anymore. It's like, no, it represents a dick. Like a straight shaft.
So dancing also was an integral aspect of the celebration. So if you don't have a maypole, you can use a tree or an erected wiener. Just wrap some ribbons around it and have a heyday. A heyday Mayday.
Shut the fuck up. You can either use a tree or an actual dick.
I made that part up.
Oh,
but
okay.
Because it represents an erectile penis... You might as well just use the real thing.
I mean,
if you have access to one of those.
I mean,
yourself.
Yeah, you could.
Or with your loved one.
Or a bark tree. That's fine.
Or just go around a tree. You don't have to you don't have to get sexual with a tree. It's just...
I mean, you can. You could be like a different kind of
representation. Fertility, guys. This is what we're celebrating in this day.
Can't do it on a dead tree. You gotta do it on a live tree.
Also, after researching this, had a really great idea for a new song for Justin Timberlake and Andy Samberg for Make My Dick Your Maypole.
Oh, I like that.
So I'll start working on that for you guys. Make my dick your maypole. Step 1, wrap ribbons around that dick. Step 2, throw some flowers on it. I literally just freestyled that. Okay, for all of you.
Perfect.
That is a freestyle.
You're welcome.
AKA Brie style.
Brie style.
Okay. It's also believed that, like Samhain, the veil between the living and the spirit world is very thin during this time.
Well, duh.
And as well as that fucking condom. I don't know. We don't use condoms on May Day.
We don't use them on May Day. It's free for all. You can't get pregnant on May Day. You can't get pregnant on May Day.
No, you can't.
No, you can.
And if you do, you just yell
May Day.
Yeah.
You cry May Day like a week later, and you're like, fuck. Shit.
So ridiculous. So also this time was when the dark days gave way to more increasing light, and all of nature awoke. Maytime, duh.
Yeah.
You know. But it also included the unseen entities of the land, such as fairies and sprites, to come out during this time, apparently.
To get on that maypole?
So it was very important to protect against the fairies and their spells, because they like to fuck with people, I guess, during this time. Minxes. They're like, ooh, it's spring. I'm going to fuck with the humans.
Yeah, they are.
So watch out for that, okay? That's basically all
you know, when you're in traffic and
there's certain rituals you have to like light. You carry a lighted candle from the front door to the back, and then the four corners of the house, and then from one side of the main room to the hearth of your home.
So like the black flame
and then you
candle,
form like sort of like a net in your home with this certain kind of branch. That's how you can protect against the fairies.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if you guys are finding yourselves some shit's going weird in May,
it's the fairies.
Might be the fairies and sprites.
Okay.
Hashtag paranormal. Okay?
Boom.
Anyways, next up we got Litha, which is the summer solstice, which is June 21st or to the 23rd. Okay. This is the longest day and the shortest night of the year, when the sun is at its fullest power. Yet the year begins to wane from here, which means, it starts to get darker after this day. And the witches say that it's a time to think about what brings joy and light to your life and develop more of that.
Okay.
That's what the witches tell you to do, okay? Okay. So the festival of Litha involved bonfires, dancing, fresh fruits, honey cakes, feasting, and celebrated the triumph of light over darkness and the knowledge that going forward, darkness would overtake the light.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But it will come back, so don't worry. That's the moral of the story. The darkness, sometimes it'll be a little more dark than light, but the light will come back.
And that is some philosophy.
Right?
Going down.
Fucking nature.
Always,
man.
Dude.
Always teaching us things.
Yes. The light will come back.
All right, next we got llamas.
Llamas.
Llamas. Lammas.
I just didn't know this.
Also called lugasad, which is another spelling that I really had to look up how to fucking pronounce that. It's pretty much lugasad. And that's like August 1st, okay? And this is the midpoint between summer and fall, time for harvesting grains especially. Giving thanks for the growth that has happened and to enjoy the warmth and the light that is still to come, but soon to fade.
Ominous.
It's the final celebration before summer ends. It literally translates as loaf feast, and it's a representative of the first loaves of bread baked from that year's crop.
Oh, okay.
So if you're a glutard,
I mean, I was going to say, like, that's...
You are gluten-free. This is not your holiday.
No, but that bread...
You could make a seed bread. You could make some from your own seeds.
Yeah.
You're gluten-free.
Some flaxseed to replace those eggs.
Mm-hmm. So Lugh, the Celtic god of the sun, who Lugasad is what the other name for this holiday. Yeah. It's about this Celtic god of the sun, Lugh. He was the most powerful in the midsummer time, but now at this time, Lammas, it's when he transfers his power.
Okay.
And he transfers his power into the grain to be ultimately sacrificed when the grain is harvested. So he puts all his power into that grain, and then the grain feeds the people, or whatever. That's
his little sacrifice.
His little sacrifice up on August 1st. So the season is not only a time to celebrate life and abundance, but also reflect upon harvest and death, the complete cycle of life. Because when you harvest something, technically, you killed it, motherfucker. But, only to plant more for the next year.
That's what Mufasa taught me.
Right? Wherever the sun touches. Anyways,
yes.
Last but not least, our 8th Sabbath. Sorry, guys.
Sabbath. I like it.
Sabbath, which is the autumn equinox. Exactly. It's... Exactly. I think it does actually have to do... Or it is related in somewhat... into the term Shabbat in the Jewish...
Shabbat. Okay.
The Jewish...
That sounds familiar, too.
I read that somewhere, but I didn't look much into it. Anyways, so the last one is Mabon, which is the autumn equinox, which is spring 21st through the 22nd.
Okay.
Through Thanksgiving and reflection, on what it's a time of thanksgiving and reflection on what one has gained and lost over the year. This is literally the witch's Thanksgiving.
Oh, I like that.
September 21st to 22nd. It's the time to start to consider the things you've been thankful for over the last year and rejoice in the good things that have come to you. Also consider what hasn't gone your way and try to examine why. As the light, so comes the dark.
Oh, wow, you're an ominous.
As with the light, so comes the dark. I fucked that up. So if you have a group, it's a wonderful time for a potluck ritual or feast.
A potluck?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a good time for a potluck.
It is. So observing, I don't know why I kept that part in.
I also think, like, I don't know, like a witch's Halloween, like a Thanksgiving, I'm just like thinking of, like, I don't know, an Addams Family with the Munsters. And for Christmas.
They're all together? Yeah.
Yeah, with like bugs and shit.
Probably. I mean,
yeah.
They celebrate nature. 100%. Bugs are nature.
Yeah.
So, observing the autumn equinox is very ancient, as well as most of these holidays. Sites such as Newgrange in Ireland, Stonehenge in Britain, Meshow and Clavacairns in Scotland, and more elsewhere, all known to have been constructed toward astronomical alignments, and a lot of them having to do with the autumn equinox.
Dope.
So the Loughcrew, which was a 5,000-year-old megalithic cairn in the Beon Valley in Ireland, the autumn equinox illuminates the inside chamber's backstone with, like, perfect precision.
Dope.
And it was thought that this specific megalithic cairn was purposefully built as part of the ancient celebration for Mabon. And the rituals of this day are focused on the loss of the goddess who gives into the underworld in autumn but will return in spring, aka Aestra. I probably am not pronouncing that right.
I mean, you could be.
So it's also best known through the story of Persephone and Demeter from ancient Greece. Demeter and Persephone.
Yeah.
Persephone. So almost every ancient civilization had a story involving a god or goddess who goes down into the underworld and later returns to bring life and prosperity to humanity. Almost every ancient culture has this basic story.
You're right.
So.
It does have the same story.
But and that is Mabon, and that is the Witch's Wheel. So if you guys are looking for some cool new holidays to celebrate, I almost fucking threw my computer on the ground.
It's fine.
There you go.
It's an HP.
How long has this been? 75 minutes?
No, it's only been 30.
God, it's just a goddamn time warp in this podcast, isn't it?
That was the Witch's fucking wheel.
They brought me.
Because
time isn't real.
It's like the Wheel of Fortune, but like Vanna White is somebody different.
She's a witch.
She's an actual witch.
She's Glenda.
Oh, she's totally Glenda.
She is.
I was just thinking like she's like Madame Mim from Sword in the Stone.
Oh, no. Madame Mim is too hardcore.
Yeah.
She's all over the place.
I know.
But
it's fine.
Well, I guess
that was good.
It.
I learned a lot.
Are you going to celebrate? We're going to celebrate the Witch's Wheel.
We better.
We'll make sure you guys know about them every year.
All I heard is that we get like double holidays. We get double Easter. We get double Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. It's just different. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to be like, hey, I can eat like 3 turkeys. Sweet.
Perfect.
And I can get high with Santa Claus.
I can eat bread on September 22nd.
Perfect.
All day. Every day because it's good for me.
It might actually be August 1st. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, that's true.
Don't. You fucking.
Just rewind this episode and listen to what date I said. All right, it's time to move into yours.
Oh, what's a doozy? Ready?
I
might need some more beer.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Why did Chris call me?
Oh, was he okay?
That was... No, that
okay.
was... Yeah. My phone does this thing where...
It's like...
Says it just adds up the missed calls I have, and it doesn't ever erase them.
Perfect.
So, like, you have 75 missed calls.
So, like, everything seems like an emergency when you look at it. Perfect.
Yeah, like,
that sounds great.
Why did my sister call me 16 times?
Is mom and dad okay?
Twice.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's a difference between, like, hey, I need some milk to, like, mom and dad are dead. So
yeah.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Shay.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Mrs. Brie. Mama Brie.
Mrs. Brie.
I don't know why I can never remember her name. Bonnie. It's so easy.
It's fine. I don't remember your mom's name.
It's
Lily.
Lydia.
Lydia.
Lily is my grandma's name. So you were close.
See, I'm even better. I even know your fucking grandma's name. But you don't know my grandma's name? What's my grandma's names?
Lilith.
May they rest in peace. They are.
No.
They're standing right here. They're waiting for you to guess.
I don't like that.
Phyllis and Lorraine.
I guess Lilith. That was pretty close.
That was like combined.
I know.
Lilith!
Perfect.
That's funny.
Okay. Here we go.
Are we on?
Oh, wait. Yes, we are on. And secondly, you were going to talk about some Kristen Smart stuff. Yeah.
Because I know you're going to talk about crime, right? So I need to give you guys a little update, which I probably should just do a whole... Well, I will, but there's been an update on the Kristen D. Smart story. If you guys have been with us since that story that I gave you, Kristen D. Smart is a missing girl that's been missing from my hometown in California since 1996.
And she's under somebody's slab.
But there's only been one fucking suspect the whole time that they've never arrested, so it's great. Anyways.
Yeah, super cool.
So they did just they've been trying to... Anyways.
Yeah.
They kind of reopened the case, I guess, but they fucking searched the dad's house finally, because the only time they ever searched his house, they like quickly turned around and were like, wow, I found a newspaper of hers under the bed, but that's fine. Yeah. This isn't suspicious.
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
So they actually fucking searched Paul Flores, who's the only suspect, his dad's house. They confiscated a car that was in the garage that belonged to Paul's sister, who lived a block away from the dorms of Cal Poly, where the incident supposedly could have happened, where she was last seen.
Right.
And so they took that. Nothing's been said about it. And then they opened the case to actually search Ruben Flores' house, which is Paul's dad. And they had a warrant to search it as long as they needed to. Like, it was an open... I don't know what it's called. Right. Open warrant. I don't know if that's real. But so they started the fucking searching on a Monday. Right. I'm pretty sure. And then literally the searches ended on a Tuesday afternoon. Right. And cadaver dogs had signaled underneath the porch, which is a place that they hadn't looked yet. Right. There's a covered porch underneath the house that I don't think they had ever really searched before. And the dogs alerted on the corner of the door, and they alerted on the car that they took into custody. Bitch. And they ended the search after a day and a half, when they had as much time as they wanted to be there to search as much as they wanted, and they ended it after a day and a half. So to me, that seems like it's good. Nothing's come out of what's happened. Right. Nothing's come out as like what they've found yet. So again, to me, I feel like that might be good. So they might be fucking finding some shit out about where the fuck Kristen D. Smart is, and actually can prosecute some people.
That's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that's very sad, and I hope she gets
I hope
justice.
Some shit,
yeah.
I hope some shit's coming to light. That's all I can say.
Preach. Okay. So I did a free roll.
Yes, you did.
And I know everyone's super shocked, but I needed to fix you guys, okay? So I did true crime.
I know. You had 1 week that you didn't do anything about murder.
I know. I mean, were you guys shocked? Were you guys like, oh my God, thank God she's going to shut up about it? Okay.
They love it.
They do love it. Okay. So have you ever heard of a woman by the name of Angela Diaz? No. Okay. Well, you are in for a treat. So
is she Monster?
What?
The show Monsters, the movie.
No,
the movie Monster is about.
No, that is oh my God, I'm spacing it. Arlene Warnos. That's no. Close. But no. So I heard this story, Angela Diaz, from actually, I heard the first time I think I heard it was on And That's Why We Drink. And let's see. I heard it from And That's Why We Drink. And then I think it actually was done on Morbid, but I have not listened to that episode.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't listened to a lot of Morbid yet.
Oh, I heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. I couldn't remember.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it probably is. It's probably right up my alley.
I've heard.
Allegedly. Okay, so here we go. So apparently there isn't a whole lot of history on Miss Diaz. Like, I fucking hunted for that shit, but there wasn't a whole lot of it. So we're gonna jump straight into it. But it actually kind of starts with a lady named Angela Connell, not Cornell. There's no R's in it. I'm being silly. Okay, so Angela Connell. So she met this man named Ian Diaz, and they met on a man. No,
Anne?
So no. So Ian. So
a man named Anne.
Yes, a man named Anne.
Already wonderful.
Perfect. So these two met
Ian.
In January of 2016, and they met on a dating website, as you do. And
you and your fucking dating websites, are you just trying to freak your own self out?
I think that's kind of what I'm doing.
It's like, I'm just trying to convince myself to stop doing this to myself.
Seriously, and honestly, back then, probably there was like 1 out of 5. So it was like OkCupid, Tinder, maybe Bumble, and I don't know, Match and Kristen Mingle. So they met on 1 of the 5.
What about Farmers Only?
Farmers Only, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Don't forget.
Okay, so anyway, they began like a really fast relationship, and I'm so sorry.
As you do.
Such an idiot. My bad. Her name was Angela Connell before it became Angela Diaz because they eventually married. Blah 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 blah. So this was the same person. Anyway, so they met on the dating website. It goes really fucking fast. I'm dumb. It's cool. Let's go forward. Yeah, they get married. I'm sorry. I researched this like 2 weeks ago. Our schedule's been so fucked up. So this is like me reading them, like my notes verbatim, like from, like, I haven't looked at them for a week. So my bad, you guys. So,
sorry.
So okay. So anyway, they began a fast relationship, like real fucking fast. They got married, and essentially a month later in February. So they met in January. They married in February because she announced that she was pregnant. So they were like, well, as you do. So he's like, well, God, I better put a ring on it. I've only known her for like
all those maypole celebrations.
100%. She maypoled all over my pole, and now I gotta.
She really made my pole.
100%. Several times. So now I gotta lock it up. So anyway, so she had to. He put a little ring on it. He put a ring on a little maypole, and it also, like, to be noted, too, like, he was, like, fucking for Myrtle, too. And so was she, because apparently she was pregnant with twins. So,
woo!
Yeah, it was intense. Okay, so anyway, they get married. They move into his little condo.
Sorry, I cannot get my feet comfortable.
Oh, it's fine. So, and so actually they moved into into the condo that he co-owned with his ex-girlfriend, and this was actually
situation.
Absolutely right. Nothing could go wrong. It's perfect. And they're just so everyone knows, right? So everyone knows they're in Anaheim, California. So Disneyland. Actually, a funny story, which we'll get to that here in a little bit. So it was with the condo was with his ex-girlfriend Michelle Hadley, and this was in Anaheim. And everything is like hunky-dory. And until a few weeks into the marriage, when Ian begins to get threatening emails from his ex surrounding his new wife and just like insane shit towards him, right? So here are like some of the emails. So like from May 29th. I hope you are scared to death tomorrow. Be prepared. Don't sleep. We will steal your child and we will watch as it dies. You are a piece of shit, and I hope to God you burn for what you have done to us.
Okay. Hey.
May 30th.
Good morning.
Yes. Did you have your Folgers yet?
Morning, sunshine.
Well, get ready. Okay.
Holy shit.
May 31st. You deserve nothing but a life of lonely torture. I have ways to hurt you. There is no place you will be safe anymore.
Oh my.
Super intense, right?
Your voice is spot on.
June 1st. You might be beautiful. You might be the one he married. But you will... It's not funny. You are still a sinner and must be punished. I will make sure you are reminded of your place by force.
So wait, did he cheat on? It was infidelity.
These are just the emails that he is getting and that and the ex-wife is getting as well. Or, I'm sorry, the new girlfriend is getting as well. So, and there's one more. I know you are leaving work. I watch as you walk.
Oh. I see you through your window as I'm standing on a tree outside.
The last part of that sentence was, let's play a game.
Oh, no. Ma'am, you can't quote Saw. That's already been done.
100%. And that's what, like,
fucking unoriginal.
That is stupid. Like, if you're going to stalk someone, like, be original. Okay? Okay. So.
Oh, my God. I see you as you walk.
Okay. So, actually, there was one more email, and this was, like, kind of the most, like, profound.
Like, it's...
Like, can you imagine, like, just typing that and going, like, yeah, this is going to get her good.
No,
like,
thank God I can't imagine typing something like that, Shay. Do you?
Can you, like, I guess, like, it'd be more upsetting if you were like, yeah, no, I could. Like, I did that, like, last evening when Chris was outside and his ankle bracelet went off and I was like, where are you?
Okay, first of all, Chris does not and has never had an ankle bracelet. But if anyone had an ankle bracelet, it would have been me.
Just so everyone's clear. So I don't stalk my boyfriend when he goes to his shed out back. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway.
Here we go.
There was actually one more, and this was like kind of the most profound, where she actually kind of put some like kind of fire and brimstone notions to it. So there are legends that Adam and a wife before Eve, who was named Lilith. Yeah, had a wife before Eve, was named Lilith, but this is not found in the Bible. The legends vary like significantly, but they all essentially agree that Lilith left Adam because this is all an email, by the way. She did not. I just want to like put this out there. She did not want. This is not me like reciting like a story from the Bible. Okay, so she did not want to submit to him. According to the legends, Lilith was an evil, wicked woman who I don't know why she's giving a sermon to this man, but whatever. Who committed adultery with Satan and produced a race of evil creatures. I hope you are scared of death tomorrow. Be prepared, and this is again kind of like part of like that other email that she sent. Be prepared, don't sleep, be watchful of the daughters of God. We will steal your child and we will watch as it dies. He is using you for everything. Don't you see this? He is obsessed with me. I am his treasure princess. It's not funny. You are nothing. Watch your back tomorrow. His treasure princess. Yeah. So she would apparently she would send emails of, like talking about Lilith and how she was his true Lilith, and that she like this new girlfriend. So they presumed it was Michelle, the ex-girlfriend, and to the new wife and the new whatever, Angela, she's like this bitch is fucking nuts. Like she's sending me fucking weird ass. They've never met each other ever. Like it just was just insane. So yeah, so even more insane. She would like constantly compare herself to Lilith and like telling again Angela that Ian didn't love her and blah blah blah, and that she just was like she kept referring to herself as his treasure princess, like something really fucking weird.
Nice for you, ma'am.
Yeah, and she was like essentially telling her like you need to get the fuck out, like you need to like leave, like just get away from Ian. So, in June, they were like, okay, enough is enough. And they go to the police and obtain a restraining order. After like all this shit is escalating quickly. And like, remember, she's like pregnant. So she's like scared. So she doesn't like know like if this woman's like gonna fucking hurt her. So they're like, no, we got to go get this restraining order. Cause like, I don't know what the fuck this bitch's problem is, but yeah, I don't want her hurting me or hurting my wife or hurting my unborn children. So anyway, got to get crazy pants out. So a couple weeks go by, still getting the insane emails, just a varied of just whatever. And let's see. And honestly, they like I was kind of thinking about this and I was like, you know, I really think that like this episode should have been called like and maybe this episode should be called like, but wait, there's more, because it gets crazy.
Oh
so,
my God.
Along with the emails, like a Lilith Hadley replied to a Craigslist ad seeking women interested in rape fantasies in Orange County. Quote, if you are free tonight, come find me, wrote Lilith, providing Angela's and Ian's, like, providing their address. And then
perfect.
She went on to say, force me into my house and take me down. And, like, and urging the attacker not to be discouraged, even if she was, like, saying, like, stop. So she's like, no, I like that. Just keep going. Like, it's part of the fantasy. Like, please just...
What
Which, by the way, plan? Like, I can't believe that there were actually boards for this on Craigslist that and were just like, oh yeah, totally.
Finally, I've been waiting for this.
Mm-hmm. Women seeking rape. So, but remember, like, I remember that being like a thing, and I think there was a time that I think my friends and I went on it just because it was so ridiculous, like looking at the men seeking women category or like the women, because it was so insane. Because it was essentially like, you know, sex on Craigslist. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that's exactly what this was.
Or what's that other one? Lost Connections or
Misconnections. Yeah, that was a good one.
Hilarious. Mm-hmm. There's some steamy ones.
Oh, there are some steamy ones.
I haven't checked one of. I think I've only looked at that like maybe once.
I think they took it down. They took all that down.
Oh, but you can post about a rape.
No, this was in 2016ish.
This was early.
Yeah, so I think they took that down like in. No, maybe it was before. Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't want to look it up.
Who knows?
I'm scared to look it up. I don't want that on my search engine. Like,
I'm just trying to find someone that's looking for a lead singer of a '90s band. Okay, that's all I'm looking for. Craigslist.
That's all I want. On the off chance that you want or may not want to be raped. Sweet. Okay, so 3 days later, after that ad was responded to, Angela called 911 to report that a man had tried to rape her in the garage of the condo. Police found her crying with a reddened neck and ripped shirt. A few hours later, as Michelle was arrested, as like the emails and such were traced back to her. So like they just assumed that Michelle was just like essentially fucking with her, like just like going like. Yeah, so she's just, like, sending men to rape me, and she's, like, sending, like, shoes, whatever. So this is, like, all Angela's, like, kind of hearsay and everything else. Meanwhile, when Michelle's getting arrested in the back of that car, she's, like, going, like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I don't know this woman. I don't know, like, but it's all about, like, you know, he said, she said, right? Mm-hmm. And these emails were essentially getting traced back, essentially, to Michelle. So they're just like, no, you're the one sending these threatening emails. Mm-hmm. You've had a restraining order pressed against you. You clearly are violating that. So like you're fucking going to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and she's like claiming like I don't know what you're talking about, like just playing like the fucking victim. So yeah. So she posted bond later that next day, but during that time, Angela claimed that the harassing emails stopped. So when Michelle was in jail, there was no emails that was harassing her.
That's weird.
Right. So crazy, right? But
where did Lilith go?
Where did she go? But soon after she was released, the emails started right back up again. So,
yeah, you're a dumb bitch.
Yeah, 100%. And she continued to send...
They'll never figure it out.
They'll never know. So, she continued to send these Craigslist weirdos all to Angela and Ian's home. After a second incident in July... was about like that was like when kind of like the tables were like being flipped a little bit. So So Ian went down to the police station and was like, is there any way that we can get this fucking, like, this woman in cuffs tonight? Because she's continuously harassing my fucking wife. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, we need to get her behind bars now. So the cops went down, put her in the fucking paddy wagon, and then she couldn't post bond because at that point her bond was, like, set at, like, $1 million. I think before it was, like, set, like 20,000, so her parents were able to post bond or whatever. But this time it was set at $1 million, so she had to just fucking sit there for 88 days in jail. So she was, like, finally, like kind of, like, locked up. So everyone's like, okay, thank God. So she had, like, a slew of charges, and she was, like, facing life in prison and all this kind of stuff. So, now it should be said, again, like Michelle was claiming, like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Like, you guys, like, are not really doing any detective work. I mean, yeah, you can say, like, she's saying that I'm doing these things, but you don't have any fucking proof. So she's crying, like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, and, like, whatever, and you can't fucking lock me up until you, like, prove me fucking guilty, but whatever. So they're just trying to build a case against her. So anyway, but again, so she's just sitting in jail, and the investigation takes place. And in July, like August 2016, search warrants are going out to get those IP addresses linked to, like, each of these email addresses that supposedly, like, that Michelle's has. So they're just trying to, again, build a case against her. So while it takes time to get all this information, detectives do their own digging on both parties because it's just the, like, standard procedure, like doing it on Michelle and doing it on Angela. So, anyway, so when
standard procedure.
So when they're doing their digging, they find this woman named Mary.
Got it.
Yeah, and she knew Angela. So they kind of talk to her and, like, just say, like, hey, you know, talk to me a little bit about Angela. Like, tell me about, like, kind of her character and all this kind of stuff. So apparently they met back in 2014, and Diaz, and so Angela Connell at the time, allegedly told Mary that her boyfriend Jason was abusing her, and she also had ovarian cancer. And I mean, talk about rotten luck. I mean, she was being beaten. She had ovarian cancer. Like, she just down on her fucking luck. And and they met because they were paralegals together. So, so she even, like, showed her, like, the little port that she had for low chemo treatments and all that kind of stuff. So she was, like, her number one, like, fucking cheerleader and all this kind of stuff. So she was, like, Angela's number one, like, go-to person, all that kind of things. So anyway, so she felt awful for her. But she did notice that something was a little off. So apparently you are not supposed to drink or eat sugar, like, when on chemo. And Angela would drink a whole fucking bottle of wine when she would come over to Mary's house to, like, vent or whatever about, like, you know, her husband or her boyfriend beating her, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then she would, like, wash that shit down with some Oreos. So
perfect combination.
So Mary was like, not that that's not classy or sexy, but that's fucked up. Like, there's something wrong there. So, and she also noticed that her hair wasn't quite, like, it was, like, falling out, but, like, she was, like, keeping it under, like, a little skull cap or whatever, but, like, when she would, like, look back, like, she would, or, like, when she would see under the cap, or the wool cap, not the skull cap, the wool cap, she was,
what are you talking about?
it was like there was, like, hair growth there, like, very whatever. Oh. Which I honestly kind of was, like, thinking about, like, how do you kind of, like, peek under a fucking wool cap when you're, it's not like when somebody, like, drops something, you know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, visibly pick that up. So I don't know how she found a way to look under that wool cap, but whatever, props to her. But anyway, maybe she was, like, wanting it so much that she had to figure out how to get to just find all of her fucking evidence. So anyway, so between the booze and the magical, like, non-hair loss, and she went to Jason and was like, you need to watch your bitch, and she might be playing you. So she wanted him to figure this out, because she can only do so much. Mm-hmm. So he started Googling her images that she was sending him. Like, she was, like, saying, like, cancer warrior and doing all these things. So he was, like, Googling, like, whatever, chemo therapy or whatever. And like the first images that were popping up were the ones that she was sending on like the little, like on her, like on the phone. So she would never show her face. She would just like show her arm or whatever. So those images were popping up on Google Images. So I mean, I'm hoping she was smart and like went to fucking page 7 of that shit and was like pulling them down, but she probably wasn't that smart.
Apparently she was not.
Yeah, no. So then Mary called the hospital to validate it even more, and there was no record of her. So even when she wasn't there, like she would like, hey, you know, my friend is getting therapy there and everything else. And I'm like, no, she isn't. She has never been here once. We've never heard of this Angela girl. So anyway, so yeah, so armed with that, and I think actually even the boyfriend even had a friend sit outside their house one day, knowing that she had claimed like she was going to a chemotherapy appointment, and the friend had like just had the friend sit out, or I'm sorry, the boyfriend had the friend sit out outside the house, and Angela never left. So I mean, and that can be, it's kind of vague because it's just like, well, maybe she just skipped it or whatever. But like, she's supposed to go every day diligently, but she never went. So apparently he just had a friend that just sat out there like a fucking weirdo, which I think is a little weird, even though I know the intention behind it, but it's still a little weird. Anyway, so yeah, so they confronted her about it, and then, but they actually had like the woman Mary actually recorded the confrontation, the intervention, and Angela swore up and down, like, I don't know what you're talking about, like, I fucking have cancer and blah, 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 like, I don't know, you guys are, like, fucking stupid, crazy bitch. She's just fucking crazy. And apparently also, this is another little side note, the dad had a special needs son, so I think the special needs son had, like, a chair, like, a wheelchair and everything, so the dad rearranged the house so it was more convenient for Angela to get around, and it actually hindered his son. So he did all this stuff. Like, so
Jason needs to get a grip on some life realities.
100%. But he just assumed that she was telling the truth, right? So she essentially like, just took her shit. She left. She just ran away from the situation. And, yeah. So, again,
but you don't
never admitted to any of it.
Unaccommodate your son.
Right. But
for some crazy bitch.
But he did. So, but she never admitted to any of it. And she just essentially just ran away. And then she ran into Ian. So, anyway, so while the detectives were finding all this out, the IP address searches were not conclusive enough to hold Michelle any longer. So she was released after that 88 days on the condition that she wore an ankle bracelet. So as the IP addresses were still being processed, the detectives still like do more digging on Angela. So, and it didn't take them long to find out that her law degrees were fake. Apparently,
weird,
right? Apparently, that's what she told Jason and Ian she did, and she wasn't even pregnant. She had
what?
Yeah, so she had purchased the sonogram pictures, on I think they're sonograms.
Just like,
yeah, I don't know what they're called.
Is that really better to live a life this way?
No, she purchased
than to just be happy with. Just to live your own life.
She apparently purchased the sonograms on Etsy for like $7.50.
I hope that Etsy store is solely there for April Fool's jokes.
100%. I would think so. So,
oh my God, what?
That's when they went back to the night that she was attacked.
What a wild world we live in.
100%. And that's when they look back on the scene and even like look at the surveillance camera, because like everyone has like Ring doorbells or whatever, and they found nothing was on them. So if she was attacked, it would have been like theoretically, like the attack could maybe not have been on camera, but they would have been able to see someone come in and out of that garage, whoever attacked her, right? So, none of that was on any type of camera on any neighbors or even like Ian's doorbell. So they're like thinking like, okay, she might be lying about this too. So yeah, so they finally traced those IP addresses, and guess where they came back to? Angela's cell phone within the condo. So 6 months after Angela was formally was formally charged, and Michelle was exonerated. So she was like the one that was sending the emails. It was not poor Michelle. And Michelle sat in jail for like 88 days, completely innocent, and didn't do jack shit. She was just super confused. She actually, the night that she got picked up the first time, she came back from like a date, and she was like, I just went out for some drinks, and maybe I was gonna get some, but I don't know what's happening. Like, I will send you the fucking the mugshots that she has. Like, the first mugshot that she has, she looks like a fucking like a deer in the headlights, and the second mugshot she has, she's just like, I mean, this might as well happen. Like, it's so fucking funny. I mean, no offense to her pain, but like yeah,
middle fingers up.
Totally. She's just like, Jesus Christ.
Speaking of pictures, I just got my new driver's license picture.
Ooh, did you? How you like that? Did you get to smile?
I did.
Did you? You were like,
but then I just have to randomly tangent on this.
I like it.
So I've been waiting to get a new picture for at least 5 years, right? It takes every 5 years, 4 years to get your new license.
5 or 10, yeah.
5, 25, whatever.
Whatever.
So my last picture, I was not prepared to take the picture, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this time I get to take my picture. I get to take a new fucking driver's license picture. Yeah. Ready for this. So I go in. I take my picture. She's like, all right, do your thing, whatever. So I smile without my teeth. Do all the things. I hear the little click. So I'm like, sweet, we're done. Just looking around. She takes another fucking picture when I'm looking around. You're like, and I was like, I literally had no idea you were taking pictures. She's like, it's fine. Uses the second picture. Perfect. I'm not looking at the camera.
Can you please show it to me?
Yeah. It's downstairs, but I look like I have lazy eye. And I was really confused.
That's amazing.
I was like, sweet. And then for a second, I got really mad. And then I like took a deep breath and was like, this is fine. And it's my life. And why am I getting so mad about my fucking driver's license picture? It's really okay. I know I'm beautiful inside and out. And hashtag 30-ish, everything's fine.
That's really funny.
It's hilarious. I can't wait to show you.
I'm so excited.
It just came in the mail yesterday.
I'm so excited. You should post it.
It's like...
You're still so mad about it.
Because it's stupid. Because it's also... Anyways, it's fine.
Also, but fine, whatever.
It's really stupid that I'm mad about it.
I get it, though, because I'm the same way, where I took my last picture, and I was just like, dude, I look like a fucking angry, like, fucking Hispanic lady who doesn't... who wears, like, fucking no lip liner, or, like, wears lip liner with no lipstick on, and, like... I just look so fucking...
Were you doing that? How do you just naturally...
And I think it looked more like that in the black and white one, and I was just like, holy
the black and white one.
Shit. Holy crap. Like, what is happening? And I'm just like...
Yeah, well, at least...
You can't see this, obviously, but, like, I just look like I'm just like... Whatever. Like, I'm just like this apathetic teenager... who I just got my car keys taken away from me. Like, that's what I look like. It's pretty pathetic. It's pretty bad. Anyway, fine. I'm really excited to see yours. But
it's great.
Here we go. Okay, so...
It's fine.
Yeah, so 6 months later, Angela was formally charged and Michelle was exonerated, thank God. So she was one of the ones that, like, and so, again, so, just to be clear... Angela was the one that was sending herself the fucking emails. So not only was she sending the emails to herself, she was also sending like the men from Craigslist to herself. So she was like sending photos of herself, like what she was wearing, when she'd be walking her dog. She was doing all of that shit and sending it to the Craigslist ad, the one that was supposed to like rape her. So and, like, obviously, investigators also concluded that she had staged the attack in her garage, all to frame Michelle. And then, of course, Ian quickly divorced her. Although Angela's attorney alleges that Ian could have been involved as well, as that it was him that benefited from Michelle being in jail. But Ian's own cell phone was never inspected because he told investigators he'd given it to his mom, and she had moved to Idaho. That's not a joke. That's what he told. He told the investigators, like, I'm sorry, I gave it to my mom, and she takes it after like dinner time and stuff, because we're not allowed to have our cell phones. So we
What?
He didn't say that, but like that's essentially what it sounds like. Yeah. But yeah, like he gave it to his
mom. Took it.
Yeah, my mom took it, and she moved to Idaho. You probably can't get a hold of her because she lives on a farm. Like, yeah. So that's So that phone was never investigated, ever. So I actually kind of agree that with with Angela's lawyer that I feel like he might have had something to do with it. So he also was a
yeah, that's a little sketch.
Yeah, he was a what do you call him? A
douchebag?
Yes. He was a US Marshal. So
sorry.
I think that maybe though like there was some kind of like influence there, obviously. So yeah. So maybe it was just easier to put all the blame on Angela. Who knows? It could have totally all been Angela because apparently she was just as crazy as fucking Ian. So maybe, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Ian here in a minute, but like it might have been a perfect storm. So anyway, so Angela pleaded guilty to a multiple felony and misdemeanor charges before receiving a 5-year prison sentence, which she was facing life. But because she took the plea deal, like she only got 5 years, which is bullshit because
what?
Because poor Michelle was like she was gonna have life in prison, and this girl only got 5 years. Like, yes, again, I know that she had a potential of getting a life sentence, but like to get 5 years
instead, like right. That's a joke.
Probably again because it was a nonviolent crime, and they're gonna push those people out as fast as possible.
Yeah,
seriously. Unless you're doing weed, then they're going to keep you in there forever. So, anyway. The big why, right? So, in the background of all of this, there is a dispute about the condo that Ian and Angela are living at. So, back when Ian and Michelle were dating, they bought this condo together. So, well, let's be real. Angela put the down payment for the condo down. Like, so she...
Of course she did.
Right. So, she put, like, I want to say it was, like... $1,400 or something like that down. Like it was all her money that she did. They both signed for it, but she was the one that put the money, all of it down. So she had all the skin in the game. So, yeah. So according to Michelle, as soon as they moved into that condo, the relationship shifted. He was controlling. He would track her and shit. Like he would.
Oh.
Right. So he would like track her cell phone. He was verbally abusive. There was kind of some stories, like some reports that said that he was physically abusive. And apparently he wanted her to have sex with other men while he watched and taped it, she alleges. And on Valentine's Day, she like caved to his wishes and then was upset about it the next day and like begged him to destroy the tape. And he was like, no one held a gun to your head. Verbatim, that's what he said to her. No one held a gun to your head. Yeah. That's what she's alleging.
That's weird.
All about Ian. Right. Like, so, like, he was a sex crave maniac, and, like, he was, like, pushing her to have sex with other men, and he would get on Craigslist to do this, and that's where they found this guy. The guy that they
These motherfuckers,
with Craigslist, dude. Like, so, yeah, apparently...
Why didn't the other two just, like, fucking...
Right. Just, like...
Fuck each other.
Or fuck each other. Right? So,
More.
like... Right. So, he apparently... was begging her to do it. She caved, got on Craigslist, and he got on Craigslist and he was like, I found you somebody. And then like taped her doing it. She cried about it the next day, and then he was like, no one fucking held a gun to your head. You're being dumb. And so she was just distraught and upset and like ashamed and embarrassed, obviously. Anyway, so yeah. So, obviously, Ian and Angela, like, I'm sorry, so let me back up. So, anyway, so, like, they essentially break up because she just can't handle it anymore. So, this is Ian. This is what Michelle is saying this is who Ian is. And if this is true, that Ian and Angela are the fuel to each other's fire, right? Like, that's what I presume.
Yeah.
So, anyway, she finally leaves Psycho Pants and just, like, is looking to, like, freaking move on. But they have this condo together. So during all of the bogus email and this legal fight with the condo is happening, she essentially, like, Michelle essentially wants to just walk away from it because things were just getting really ridiculous. But at first, it was just agreed that Diaz would, like, do the full payments of the condo, like, right? So if he wasn't able to afford it, they would just sell the property. So I'm assuming that he couldn't afford the payments. So I believe, like, it was like a $450K condo. And because he still hadn't secured, like, a mortgage, when the time frame, so, like, it was almost up. So, and when Michelle would file, like, a motion to proceed to the next step, all of a sudden, like, new emails would kind of start attacking Angela. So anytime that Michelle would be like, I just want to get this process going and moving forward and doing all this stuff, all of a sudden these emails would come up to try and, like, attack. So it just looked like she was crazy. So I think that the grand scheme, and that's, I think, what the detectives were theorizing.
Fucking wild.
Right. So what the detectives were theorizing, that they were trying to get her thrown in jail, so then, like, all of this would go away, essentially. And then he could walk away, sell the condo, do whatever he wanted. But all of this for a fucking condo. All of it for a condo. But to me, that it also says he had a hand in it. Like, he was like, no, you need to, like, do this, this, and this, so then, like, we can be scot-free. Like, either we want to sell it, but then she gets no part in it. So Ian sounds just as crazy as Angela. So I don't know who was a puppet to whoever, like, was a puppet, but, like, I think
they just fed each other.
Yeah, I think they did too. Oh, and by the way, like, the Anaheim thing, like, that was another part of the controlling thing with Ian, was that apparently Michelle had her dream job in Disneyland, and she was, like, a marketing something or other, and then actually Ian made her quit her job because he was getting so jealous of where she was and all this kind of stuff. So she made her actually quit her job, take a giant pay cut, so she could be closer to him.
Okay, if that's not a red flag, I don't know what is.
Yeah. So anyway, all this over a piece of fucking property, just because she didn't want. I don't know. I honestly think he had something to do with it, but again, he's never been charged. So that's that. Yeah. So. Yeah, but let me just back up. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so Michelle is suing the city of Anaheim and saying, like, you know, again, she was wrongfully convicted and blah, blah, blah. But again, I honestly agree with Anaheim, even though it sucks that she was in jail for 88 days. I don't know how I would feel if I was that, like, having that experience, but, like, they were, but I guess at the same time, like, they really weren't following. Like, they just were going off hunches, and they weren't doing. They didn't really have a case against her. For her to sit in jail for 88 days, pretty fucked up. So, yeah. So that case is still kind of pending on whether she's going to get money from the city or not. What's her name? Angela's still sitting in jail. I think she'll be out. I think she was sentenced in 2018, so she'll be out in a few years. And yeah. So,
and Ian's just, like, chilling.
Yeah, and he got to go off and do his little life because he never got charged. There's no evidence because they never did the work for his cell phone because his mom had it. Remember? His mommy had it.
My dog ate my cell phone, so I don't know how you're ever gonna.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna find it. He probably dug it. He's probably with Kristen Smart, so figure it out. I'm dead serious. Yeah.
So fucking.
Anyway, I felt that was long-winded, and I was a little drunk when I was talking about that, so sorry about that, guys. Anyway,
that was fucking weird.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. It was crazy. So yeah.
I just don't like
liars.
People. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand how people can, like, live their life in such webs of lies. It's like, is that fun?
I don't understand.
Are you either. Like? I would be constantly like,
right. I don't understand it either, especially like when you're like, and when you listen to, like, it was a Dateline episode as well. I think it was called Diabolical, Diabolical. My God, I can speak words. And that was really, really good. And you actually heard the confrontation between Mary, her boyfriend Jason, and her about like saying like, you're a liar, you didn't have cancer. And she's like, no. I mean, it's cringeworthy. Like, she does not waver. She's like, no, I had cancer. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I had cancer. Yeah. So for her to just like not let go of that, like, she needs some fucking help. Major help. So, yeah. They're fucked. So yeah, so she made up that whole fucking lie. This poor girl Michelle got thrown in jail for 88 days, all for a piece of property. Most likely. They never revealed the true motive of why they did what they did. Or I'm sorry, why Angela did what she did. Yeah. But my guess is that it was all about that piece of property because they wanted Angela to just leave them alone. Or I guess whatever. I'm sorry. They wanted Michelle to leave them alone.
Well, sorry that you
and Michelle was just like you can like just take it, like just find a different mortgage company and just take the loan. But no, can't do that. Can't do that.
So weird.
Can't do that. I want to be able. They wanted to be able to. I think they wanted to be able to sell the property and walk away with whatever equity they had, and not have. But all for that. It's fucking stupid.
Dude, people do weird shit.
They do weird shit for money. You're right.
And money is a fucking
super dumb. But anyway, I thought that was kind of a wild ride, and I thought it was interesting. Yeah,
Mr. Toads.
But see, it wasn't. Hey guys, it wasn't about murder. It was about murder. It was just about
I kept waiting for you. I kept waiting for you to tell me someone was murdered, but you never did.
That was
fine. Which is good.
It was a plot twist.
Everyone lived to see the light of the day.
Right? It did.
The light of day.
The light of day.
The light of the day.
The light of the day.
Speaking of the light of the day, I think our dice needs to see the light of day.
It does, but you need to say your little piece.
I do.
Dude.
Well, guys, if it was your first time, guys and gals,
cats
and kittens,
cool cats and kittens,
solsticers and psychopaths. Just kidding. Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for listening to this episode this evening, this afternoon, this good morning, whenever time you're listening to this. I almost said eating. It's time to go. Obviously,
it is clearly.
Because clearly I don't even know.
It's not even that late, but it feels that late. It feels like, I don't know, the beginning of time.
It does. But if you guys feel so inclined, if you want to leave us a review or rate us on iTunes, that always helps people fucking check us out on the fucking Spotify's and the podcast platforms.
But yeah, seriously, the more you guys like rate and review, the better it is for us. So like if you do it, like that'd be dope. Thanks.
If you feel so inclined.
Yeah, if you do. If you don't, like just do it anyway. That'd be cool too.
Yeah. Also if you
I'm a little more pushy than Brie. I apologize.
We'll send you a sticker if you give us a 5-star review.
You should do that.
Also, for those of you who have done our little sticker challenge, which isn't much of a challenge.
Hey.
And it's basically just, hey, if you post something and you tag us in the post, we'll send you a sticker. We'll send you more than a sticker. We'll send you 3.
It's like
a handwritten note from us.
It's like going to the bathroom in kindergarten. It's so easy.
It really is.
It's the easiest sticker you'll ever earn.
Also, yeah, follow us on Instagram. Let us know what you're thinking of us. DM us your thoughts. DM us your fucking
all the things,
30-ish thoughts and
all of it,
thinkings.
We love to hear from you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. We love you. Are you waiting for me to roll the? Are you? It's time.
Is it
waiting for you to pick up the dice and give it a roll?
It's time for crime. Here we go.
Is it?
I don't know. I want it to be.
Roll it. You hear that?
2.
2 is you.
2 is me.
Paranormal? It's not
no,
crime.
It's crime.
It is?
It's crime.
2 is crime? Did you just change that?
Oh, no. I sure didn't.
3.
That is...
Wild?
That's food. Food and crime. Jeffrey Dahmer? Yes, please. I mean...
You already did that.
I did.
I'm not going to copy you.
People got upset.
I'm probably going to actually talk about food. Actually, someone did tell me she couldn't listen to that part.
I know. I was like, well...
She was like, I did have to shut Shay's part off.
That's fair.
I really tried, but it was a little too graphic for me.
That's totally fair.
But we did warn people a lot that episode, so it's fine.
We did!
And I probably will just talk about food that's not having to do with people eating humans.
Sorry about it.
But anyways, we love you. We thank you. Shay just rammed her hands into the mic, so it is time to go.
It is.
And I'm goodbye.